Hello, 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 my dear fellow energist friends from around the world and around from time and space. It is I, Silvia Hartmann, coming to you today from beautiful Eastbourne by the sea. And today we are in the clouds. It looks misty, but it's not mist. We're actually in the clouds today. We have low clouds over the ocean. And so we're in the clouds, which is lovely and a wonderful thing indeed. Good morning, Dieter. Lovely to join us here. The clouds are, well, I am in a partnership with a person who is grumpy unless the sun is shining and the sky is completely blue and there isn't a breath of air. Any inroads to this at all, any kind of stuff like clouds or wind or rain or mist or any kind of variance from that, and he's not happy. And I'm not like that. I match my moods, my activities, my energy to the kind of weather and atmosphere that's around me. I can't help but do that. And when it's like today, which is a misty day, and we're in the clouds here today, I see that as an opportunity to do wonderful things. Good morning, Julie. Lovely to have you here as well. So perhaps a good way to start here is to say that something that I've always tried to express is that as a modern energist, you do not have to hop around like a demented bunny waving your arms all the time, constantly. Like, I'm on +10, and just run around like a crazed person, basically. There's all sorts of interesting high energy states. And some of the most interesting high energy states are very quiet, very reflective, very expansive. And for me, a morning in the clouds is an invitation to that, to step into a more mystical side of things, to perhaps connect to a time when the land was green and it wasn't covered in concrete yet, and people went about their business doing their things in a different time where there was less stress, different kinds of stress perhaps, but nothing like we know today. And I find that incredibly soothing and uplifting, and I really like that. And I would like to, everybody who's ever going to listen to this, to contemplate that there are different waves going through the universe. And sometimes there are storms, and there's an opportunity to really move forward and let that storm push you forward and do something really threshold shifting. And other times the sun is shining, you're just full of energy, full of love, full of joy, and very social. And then that's a good time to be doing something along those lines. And on a cloudy day like today, and being in the clouds, there's an opportunity to do something else again. And this is sort of a going with the flow, using the universal streams and rivers and winds, rather than constantly battling against them, which is just so tiring and so wearying, to actually use all these different kinds of energies and weathers to lift you in a different way to a different place, different state of being, but at the end of the day, to lift you to joy. So this morning, I have really no idea what we're going to do. There's only two of us here, which is very intimate. If you come up with any ideas of anything that you'd like me to talk about, please, by all means, do. And in the meantime, I'm just going to ramble on and see what my dear energy mind would like me to talk about today. So, dear energy mind, what would you like me to speak about or ask about, or, I don't know. Okay, right. So yesterday evening, we had the Star Matrix Lounge, which is a very, very, very informal Zoom meeting. And there came up this whole thing of, how do you change your life? How do you change your life? If you're not satisfied with the circumstances of your material life, or of your spiritual life for that matter, or of your sex life, or of any other kind of life that you might be leading anywhere in the universe, then how are we going to change that for the better? And one thing that I have really learned over especially the many years of watching people tapping on negatives and, is that to really change our lives, it has got to be something really quite dramatic has to happen. It's no good constantly tapping and tapping and tapping and tapping and doing lots and lots and lots of things all the time, all the time, all the time to try and, it's like running on a treadmill or a hamster in a wheel, trying to keep the energy spun up. And as soon as the hamster stops or the person stops running on the treadmill, they just fall off again. And then, they have to pick themselves up off the floor and then start again this hard work of trying to keep our energy bodies happy. And that's just wrong. I mean, that's just not how it's supposed to be. It's supposed to be a lot easier than that. I mean, energy is free. It's everywhere. It's like oceans of energy. So what can we do to make that less hard work? And actually, see, my idea is the only way we can change our lives is by actually raising our energy average. Because the energy average, which is the default state to which we fall back down again when we stop running like a crazy hamster in the cage, this sets what your life is like. That's where your life is at. And so the energy average has to come up. And there are really two ways we can do that. We can add more energy. This is something that we've been now doing for some years. We've been tapping positives. We've been thinking positively. We've been using positives. That's been really, really useful. And then there's the other side of things, which is stopping energy drains. And funnily enough, and this is just becoming so crystal clear now with the experiences in the Star Matrix course, looking for trauma is an absolute energy drain. Thinking that your life was terrible in the background, having this idea that you have no positive memories of your childhood, or your childhood was terrible, or your parents never loved you. That's an ongoing, constant energy drain. And if we can fix that sort of energy drain, really fix it. And the star memories fixed us. They do. They absolutely do. Then when we then do some positive tapping or something, it should actually have much more beneficial results, much more positive results. This is what I'm thinking. If you have joined us and I haven't said good morning, I can't see any further people here on my screen. It has stopped scrolling. So I don't know who you are or if you are here or not, but be advised that I'm very happy that you're here. And I love you very much. And thank you for being here with me and, talking about energy for a change. See, I think we need to talk a lot more about energy. We need to talk a lot more about energy with our loved ones, with our families, with our colleagues, with the world in general. This is we can't not talk about this anymore. What's going on in the stress-crazed modern world is so destructive, so divisive, so bad for everyone involved. It's got to stop, and it will not stop unless somebody brings in this energy thing and says, look, you are being so angry and upset all the time and having such huge reactions to microaggression because you are super, super stressed. If you weren't so stressed, then you wouldn't be so angry and frightened all the time, or hating on everybody who has even a slightly different opinion to yourself. The whole woke political correct nightmare in which we are living is a stress thing. I believe this. I believe that we can't not start talking about energy in public now. It's no good. Without it, the stress, this rampant stress and division and hatred between people, it's just going to escalate further and further until we have some kind of meltdown, a societal -7. And nobody needs that. Nobody wants that. The craziest things happen. And the worst things that humanity is capable of happen when that happens in a society. When you get the civil war at -7, everybody's in the streets throwing Molotov cocktails at each other. Racial cleansing takes place. Everybody's pitted against one another, and then society breaks down, and then we're left with this crazy warlord situation that we have in so many parts of the world. And this is very structural. So the thing is that really we can't wait for somebody from up high. I don't know, somebody from up high, some mystical person up high to go and say to people, hey guys, energy is real. Your emotions are out of control because you're stressed. And in order to do something about that, we need to bring love and positivity back into the world. We need to focus on a better future for humanity rather than berating each other for everything that's gone wrong in the past. This is not going to solve the problem. There is no big man gonna come and lay down the edict and all of a sudden we're living in a happy energy world. This is up to me and to you and to everybody else who's understood how important that is. It is up to us to come out of that energy closet and say to people, stop it with the stress, stop it with the hate, stop it with the freak out. I mean, we understand that you're terribly stressed, but please, this is not the answer to our personal problems, not the answer to humanity's problems. In fact, we really need a version of Star Matrix for humanity itself. To stop looking and focusing only on the traumas and the negativity and the horrors, and really start focusing on what human beings have done well. That's, again, like with our own personal memories, that's where the information is that we need to know how to do things better. Wow. Yes, that was some speech. Thank you for being here and listening to it. So really, that's what I wanted to say this morning, is that all important energy average for us personally, but also for our societies and for our families and for our, for humanity at large. We need to stop the energy drains, and those are the constant re-reporting and restating how terrible it all is and how awful and how hopeless. Now we're all going to be dead because of climate change that we ourselves are creating by putting plastic in the wrong bin. This isn't helping us. This isn't helping us. It's just not helping us. We need to start really somewhere to turn this enormous tide. And I believe this is possible because it is just energy. It's only energy. And energy is free and it makes sense. And the more people hear about it, the better. Good morning, Barbara. That's lovely to see you here too. Okay, so shall we do a nice little exercise of some kind, something nice and beautiful, mystical, uplifting, positive, to just rise above all this stress madness and just, let's do that. Let's do that. Why don't we? Just a little meditation, an energy meditation, a living meditation. Let's take a deep breath in, and as you take the breath in, just feel yourself lifting up, like so. Now, when we're letting the breath out, we're not going to fall back down again. We're going to stay in this slightly higher state. So, Excellent. Next breath in lifts us higher. Very good. Breathe out without sinking back down into yourself. And take another deep breath in to go higher still. Oh. I call that up-breathing. We can gain very, very high energy states with that. Oh. And so this idea is now that just simply to rise up into this higher energy state, and let us just look down on the stress madness of the world of humanity at the moment. And this is a sorry sight. If you get too overwhelmed by it, or if you get caught in it somehow, just breathe up a little higher. So you are clear of that and really above it. And if you're high enough, then you know that the only thing, the absolutely only thing that can soothe this madness is just really, honestly, nothing but love. And I'm going to ask today, literally, the great creative order to provide that love directly onto this stress madness. Let it fall down like soothing rain on all these people who are literally out of their heads and have lost the plot completely and the love for each other. I'm going to add my love to that as well. All the love I have to give for all of them. Doesn't matter what crazy nonsense they're spouting. Doesn't matter how deluded they are. Doesn't even matter what they've done in their delusions. For the grace of God, hey? Let's just send them all our best love. And know that there are going to be aspects of ourselves who will be back down there sooner rather than later. And I'd like you to just conceptualize these aspects as little stars amongst that swirling madness there. And let's just send them some extra special strength and joy. Joy above all else. Send them joy. To help them stay happy and strong and keep their radar towards love, towards joy, towards the light, which is our natural state of being, which is who we really are, which is nothing but the truth. We want a better world. Everybody wants a better world. We can get that radar back switched on for all the entities out there so they can all turn towards the light. That would be a wonderful thing. And it's a big ask, but this is my will. And if you'd like to say that too, this is my will. Just so we all know that we are here seriously to make the world a better place, to enrich it, to swim our own way towards joy, and hopefully inspire others to do the same. And in that way, we human beings can come back into some kind of harmony with the universe itself with the song of the stars, with the beating of the universal rhythms, and feel at home, which we are. We are at home here. But just in that stress madness, our conscious minds just have forgotten that. That was lovely. Thank you very much for joining me in this little meditation, not for peace. Don't ever ask for peace. Ask for love. You know, if we make our goals really high and pin them to the stars, then if we fall short, we've still achieved more than those that only ever wanted the suffering to stop. That's just not enough anymore. Okay, and so from the misty morning clouds in Eastbourne, I'm sending you my very best blessings. All the very best to you. Have an amazing week. Try and be connected and excited by the world. Don't let the stress get you down. If you find yourself in stressful situations, breathe up and out of it as soon as you can. And over time, we're just going to get better at it. And we are going to get higher, which is going to be fun. Okay, have a lovely week, and I'll see you again here next time. Bye.